In the remote snowbound expanse of the Arctic's white desert, where temperatures routinely plummet below 40-degree sacks and the wind scours every surface with icy precision, the miracle of birth unfolds against a backdrop of unimaginable isolation. Here, in a small nomadic encampment of Inuit families, the life-giving ritual of childbirth is woven into the ancient tapestry of survival, community, and unyielding respect for nature's power. From the moment a woman first senses the faint flutter of new life within her, preparations begin in earnest. Tents are reinforced against gale-force winds, oil lamps are stocked with seal fat, and elders gather around the hearth to share stories of their own births beneath the polar night. There are no modern hospital corridors here, only the flickering glow of a qulliq lamp and the steady murmur of women who have delivered children in this frozen wilderness for countless generations. As the final weeks of pregnancy draw near, the mother-to-be retreats to the innermost chamber of the yaranga, the traditional skin tent that serves as both home and sanctuary. The floor is layered with reindeer hides, softened by grasses harvested. In the brief Arctic summer, providing both warmth and comfort, midwives, often grandmothers or aunts who learned the art of birth through observation and repetition rather than formal training, prepare a shallow basin carved from driftwood, its smooth surface rubbed with seal oil to prevent cracking in the cold air. Nearby, bundles of Arctic moss, rinsed in spring meltwater, stand ready to serve as absorbent bedding, and a small fire crackles gently in the central hearth to provide a measure of warmth without engulfing the tent in smoke. Labor can arrive with little warning. In the deep winter, there is no guarantee of sunlight, and often the only illumination comes from the lantern's soft halo. When the first pangs ripple through the mother's body, she is assisted into a seated position atop the layered hides. Supported by pillows stuffed with dried moss, her breath comes in measured gasps, echoing the rhythm of the wind outside. The midwives, dressed in layered fur garments themselves, work in practiced silence, their hands steady as they massage her lower back and whisper soothing encouragement in the ancestral tongue. Outside the tent, male relatives stand vigilant, ready to relocate tents or herd reindeer if the storm shifts or intensifies, ensuring that no sudden change in weather will leave the mother exposed. Inside, the flickering lamp reveals breathless concentration on every face. The midwives check the mother's pulse by feeling the pulse of her wrist with a thumb wrapped in soft hide, and they listen for the baby's heartbeat by placing a warm, hollowed bone against her belly. These techniques have been honed through centuries of trial and error, passed down in tales told around the hearth, not written in any book. When the amniotic sac finally ruptures, there is a moment of hushed awe, as if the tent itself is exhaling in anticipation. The midwives catch the fluid in a carved wooden bowl, offering blessings that invoke protective spirits of land and sea. The stages of labor unfold in reverent quiet. Contractions swell and recede like the tides, each one drawing the mother closer to the culmination of pain and promise. The midwives press warm compresses, linen soaked in heated seal oil, against the mother's perineum, helping to prevent tearing in the frigid, dry air. When the baby's head crowns, a whispered chant begins, a rhythmic incantation that binds the living moment to the stories of ancestors who have witnessed the same miracle under aurora-lit skies. With a gentle but firm pull, the midwife guides. The baby free, and the first cry, sharp, insistent, cuts through the hush like a beacon of triumph. Immediately, the umbilical cord is clamped using a slender bone pin and a strip of sinew, then cut and tied. The midwife swiftly but tenderly dries the newborn with soft grasses, rubbing the baby's back to stimulate breathing and circulation. A final blessing is murmured as the baby is placed skin to skin on the mother's chest, both wrapped together in a single reindeer-fur skin to share warmth. The mother's tears freeze the corners of her eyes, but her smile warms the tent like a sudden sunrise. Attention then turns to the placenta, regarded as the baby's first home and often treated with deep respect. In many families, it is placed in a small wooden box and buried under a cairn of stones near the tent, marked by a tiny Inuit crafted from driftwood. This act symbolically returns the life-giving organ to the earth, ensuring that the land continues to nurture the child as it once nurtured them within the womb. Children who visit the site are taught to leave small offerings, shell fragments, feathers, or bits of carved bone to honor the delicate balance between life and nature. Once the immediate rush of birth has passed, the new mother and baby rest together, cocooned in layers of specially tailored clothing. Babies are swaddled in linen wraps lined with soft fox fur, then placed in a cradleboard carved from driftwood and strapped with sinew. The cradleboard is hung near the hearth, allowing the child to feel the warmth of the fire and hear the heartbeat of the community. In this way, from their very first breath, infants are embraced by the rhythms of the Arctic world. The ebb and flow of firelight, the whisper of wind against skin, the heartbeat of a mother who has already taught them the meaning of resilience. In the days that follow, rituals of introduction commence. On the third day after birth, family members gather to bestow a name upon the child. The chosen name often reflects qualities admired in the community: strength, grace, or the flickering beauty of the northern lights. A small feast is arranged consisting of lightly cooked fish stew and dried berries to nourish the mother's recovering body. Elders recite traditional songs, joiks among the Sami, throat singing among certain Inuit groups, each melody weaving a narrative that connects the newborn to the land, to ancestors, and to the responsibilities that await them. Healthcare, in this environment, relies on the synergy between traditional knowledge and emerging medical aid. In rare complications, prolonged labor, postpartum hemorrhage, the midwives perform techniques such as uterine massage and herbal infusions made from dried Arctic willow bark or dwarf birch leaves, known to help contract the womb and staunch bleeding. When circumstances demand, a halfway station, often a small clinic stocked with antibiotics and sterile instruments, stands many miles away, reachable only by snowmobile or dog sled. Every birth carries an inherent risk, yet the combination of ancestral wisdom and occasional modern intervention has kept maternal and infant mortality remarkably low, even in these extreme latitudes. As the weeks pass, the mother nurses her child, drawing nourishment from a diet rich in raw and cooked fish, seal fat, and foraged greens during fleeting summer months. Breastfeeding, practiced on demand, serves not only to feed but to pass vital antibodies in a land where pathogens are few but cold-related stress is high. When the infant begins to cry for comfort rather than necessity, siblings or cousins may rock the cradleboard gently, teaching the child from its earliest days the closeness of the extended family. Throughout the first year of life, the child is never far from the warmth of the hearth or the guiding hands of women who have shepherded generations before them. Each new tooth, each tentative crawl across the reindeer skins is celebrated with soft clapping in the tent and small offerings of dried fish. By the time the baby's first birthday arrives, there will be another round of feasting and naming, this time a name that acknowledges the child's emerging character and the hopes the community places upon them. In the Arctic, where life and death are separated by a thin veil of ice, the birth of a child is both a profound act of hope and a testament to human adaptability. Every step of the process, from the hushed lighting of the qulliq lamp to the final placement of the cradleboard, underscores a central truth. In the white desert's relentless cold, warmth is found in the embrace of community, in the sharing of knowledge, and in the unbroken chain of life carried forward with each new soul. Here, in the land of endless night and tireless wind, the promise of tomorrow is born in the cry of a single baby, and humanity's most enduring light continues to shine.